Yo, pana, funde la grasa, nigga.
Feel like the one, feeling it stuck. This ain't no rock, that's diamond in the cup. Light on my shoulders, I'm getting the rough. Money don't fold up, I feel like Pac in the tub. Showered in gold chains, knots on me. They got the slices, I stay with the block of cheese. Broccoli pressure, both cost me 43. Hey, I stay in my lane, don't fuck with no one. Fuck with no one. Whoa. If you mad, hold your horses, I'm still going up. You cannot stop it, just sit back and watch it. I pull up in different whips, yeah, I got options. Don't play with that sneak dissing, boy, you childish. Just see me in person that wanna talk about it. I feel like I'm, who you feel like? I feel like I'm pocking the tub with the chains on. Whole lot of gold. They want me to turn it down, I gotta stay on. And never go out. We ain't dimming the lights, no. Going out like their bikes. 12 o'clock. Everybody eating over here. Having more than one bite. Only the team get to play. Why? Only the team get to stay. Yeah. Silver spoon where they were with me. Dogs aggressive like they never ate. Savages. I was too quiet on the other side. Where they at? But I know they ain't plotting. Fuck with me, you die. No, I ain't playing. Telling me what? I don't give a fuck. They gon' talk when you down, they gon' talk when you up. I take what they say, along with the eighth. Kept me a wood, then I burn it up. Pock in the tub, chains on me. Feel like a thug, lot of guns. All got kickback, down your son. Still score when they foul, one. Need mine and some, plus. Spray on my body, rack, plus. Some say I changed, I'm racked up. Hit for the money, fuck who next up. I stay on my 10, ain't no taking me out. Got a blunt in my hand, one in my mouth. Some say I talk cocky, but this ain't no act. Say what I want, I ain't watching my mouth.
Yo. I said, yo. What's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rosa, a.k.a. Mazuma TV. Back at y'all in the building with some more boxing talk, man. What's going on, y'all? Hit the like button as soon as you come in. My boy J Cash in the building. What's going on, y'all? We got some things that we need to discuss in the boxing world. My boy Teach is in the building. What's going on, y'all? I could already tell they ain't send out them notifications on YouTube, but it is what it is, man. We gonna continue building. You know what I mean? And we're going to talk this boxing regardless, man. We got some things that we need to discuss, of course. And I'm going to open up the panel for some random boxing discussions as well, man. You know what I mean? So let's talk about, Ryan Garcia, you know what I mean, the claims that he's been making about Devin Haney and stuff like that, and what he plans to do to Devin Haney and shit like that, man. We definitely going to have to discuss this because it's getting a little out of pocket. It's been out of pocket, honestly, man. Ryan Garcia has been saying some crazy stuff, you know what I mean, ever since he's entered that episode, you know what I'm saying? But what he's saying now, we got to be on the lookout for it because he might be serious, man. He might just be serious about what he plans on doing to Devin Haney during the fight. You know what I'm saying? Because I think at this point in time, I think he just want to get it over with. I do think the reason why he's having this episode is because he's going to fight Devin Haney. You know what I mean? Because I never heard of, Ryan Garcia having any type of episodes, until the Devin Haney fight. So I think that that's not a coincidence. I think that is happening because he's facing Devin Haney now. Am I saying he fears Devin Haney? No. You know what I mean? I just think that I don't know. I don't think he necessarily fears Devin Haney. I think he fears the outcome of facing Devin Haney. You feel what I mean? But shout out to everybody that's in the building, man. We got 7 people in the building. Please hit the like button on the way in. You know what I mean? To get the algorithm on the up, it is very much appreciated. You know what I mean? We definitely in the building for sure. And, I'm being a little quiet right now because my son in the other room sleep. You know what I'm saying? So trying to make sure I don't disturb him, wake him up, and then I got to go attend to him and get off the live. You know what I mean? I'm trying to avoid that. I'm trying to maintain this content. You feel what I mean? So, yeah, man, let's really do that. J Cash says Ryan is like a plane spiraling towards the ground with both engines on fire. Yeah, that's what it's looking like, bro. And it's unfortunate that nobody around him is either helping him or able to do anything about it. You feel what I mean? I remember Ryan Garcia was saying like they had taken his phone and they took his car, so he wasn't able to buy anything and stuff like that. But somehow it's still posting on social media. So obviously, they aren't taking much away from him if he's still able to access the internet. You feel what I mean? I don't know, man. I think it's at a point where like his family wants to intervene and give him the help that he needs. But I don't think that he's willing to accept help. He told you they was trying to give him like a mental evaluation, and he said no. He's refusing help. Um, and people can only do so much to help you if you're not willing to help yourself. You feel what I mean? And I think that Ryan Garcia is really going to use this. I think it's a built-in excuse, man. Like I understand mental health issues are real. This is a real thing. People really go through this. I've seen it destroy families. Unfortunately, I've seen people self-destruct from not taking care of their mental health issues. You see what I mean? But I do think that he's like whatever outcome, because I think it's more than likely at this point that he'll lose to Devin Haney. You know what I mean? Um, I think that this will be the excuse. You know what I'm saying? Him saying that he wasn't all the way there mentally. He know he was gonna lose. You know what I'm saying? Because he was trying to portray a real confident image when he faced Gervonta Davis, right? When he faced Gervonta Davis, he made it seem like he was so confident he was gonna stop him and all this stuff. But in the mix of talking crazy to Gervonta Davis, he kept throwing it. But why you had to drain me? Why you had to weight drain me? Why you had to weight drain me? And then after he loses to Gervonta Davis, that was his built-in excuse. He already had the excuse in place so that when he lost, it wasn't something new that we were hearing. You know what I mean? And I think that the mental health issues is what he's going to be banking on after he loses to Devin Haney. He's going to say that he wasn't all the way there mentally. And then he's going to expose all these things that he supposedly was doing during camp. He'd be like, oh, well, I was taking meds and I wasn't really focused and I didn't really train how I was supposed to. You know what I'm saying? So I think that he's going to use that as the scapegoat, you know what I mean, for not facing for why he didn't show up versus Devin Haney. That's just my personal opinion. Stop motion MMA, what's going on, man? How you doing? I hope everything's all right with you and your family, man. What's going on? What's going on? J Cash says, J Cash says Ryan Garcia should have took a page out of Kevin Durant book and make a couple burner accounts. Can't be spewing your real feelings on the main. Oh yeah, I definitely heard about that with Kevin Durant. That's hilarious. How did they end up even figuring that out about Kevin Durant? Did he admit that himself or what? But yeah, like if you that emotional to the point where you're not able to contain yourself and you gotta reply back to people and shit like that, he should have made a burner account, which I believe a lot of people do in reality. I genuinely believe that there's actual fighters that come on my page and comment from burner accounts. You know what I mean? I think there's times where like there be certain people on the live where they say little things, and I'm like, I feel like nobody but the fighter would know that, or somebody extremely close to them. So I think that there be fighters in these comments, portraying other people or just identifying as somebody else. You know what I mean? Because they don't want you to know that it's them behind that camera or behind that computer screen or behind that phone screen. You feel what I mean? But yeah, man. Yeah, Ryan definitely need a burner account, especially with all the shit he be having on his mind. He got to release all that. So if he want to release it, he should release it just being somebody who prefers to be anonymous. You know what I'm saying? For sure. Well, speaking of anonymous, shout out to Anonymous in the building. For sure, for sure. My boy Ralph in the building. What's going on, man? He says a part of me thought he was trolling a little bit, but he's been doing this for like the past month. It's been too long for it to be a joke. He's mentally gone. Yeah. He's definitely falling into the deep end, unfortunately, man. It's starting to get worse and worse and worse. Like, did y'all see? And I laughed at it. You know what I mean? I definitely laughed at it. But then after looking at it, I'm like, yo, this dude is like really like something's really wrong with him. He had like went on this tangent talking about how like Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob SquarePants, bro, was making Krabby Patties out of actual crab meat. So he called Mr. Krabs a cannibal, and then said that Plankton was the one who was trying to expose it to the world, and uh, he called Mr. Krabs a devil worshiper, and it was like writing in all caps, like he was going ham. I'm like, what the hell, or what the fuck is Ryan talking about, bro? Like, are you serious? Like, what are you talking about? But shout out to the 14 people that's in the building right now. If you could hit the like button, when you come in to get the algorithm on the up, it'll be very much appreciated. You know what I mean? Southwest Dice, what's going on? What's going on? Derrick James got to take his phone away. Ryan Garcia is annoying, bro. He's extremely annoying. And I'm going to tell y'all something, right? Because I have a boxing gym with my father and stuff like that. There's nothing more annoying than the people who want to record everything they doing at the gym. Like, bro, just stop recording and work, bro. Like, Ryan Garcia has to record every little thing that he does, man. Like, he has to record everything. He has to keep a camera on him at all times. The nigga is an attention whore to the finest, bro. That is one of the biggest pet peeves of mine. Or like when somebody come up to me while they see me working, be like, "Yo, can you record me hitting the bag real quick?" No, nigga, I'm not gonna hold no, bro. I'm a boxing coach, bro. I'm not a videographer, bro. I'm not your little, you know what I mean, your little, selfie maker, whatever the fuck you want to call me, bro. I'm none of that. You know what I mean? So I know it got to be extremely annoying to be training around Ryan Garcia. Did y'all see when Ryan Garcia was shadow boxing with Frank Martin? And it was like he knew that the camera was on him, so he was like fucking with Frank Martin, like trying to distract him while he's shadow boxing. And Frank Martin, like he looked like he it didn't look like he was annoyed, but like he looked like he was trying to lock in, and like Ryan just in his face, like trying to get close to shit to him while he's shadow boxing. I'm like, bro, this dude Ryan is a weirdo, bro. Like I'm trying to tell you, bro, regardless of his popularity, bro, we would have kicked him out of our gym. For sure. That's why he got kicked out of Canelo gym. Because he don't know how to lock in, bro. The only thing that motivates him to work is when a camera is on him, bro. When a camera is on him. That's the only way, bro. He needs that attention. He needs the spotlight. He needs to be recognized by a camera for him to actually do things. It seems like that's the only thing that motivates him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that dude that was praising Blair Cobbs that one time. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was very weird. And then whenever we would bring it up, whenever we would bring up that it is Blair Cobbs and shit, I don't even remember him replying to it. So it was like kind of weird. That shit was kind of like confirming my suspicions. Yeah, I remember that shit. Teach says Shakur has a YouTube burn. I won't be surprised if he's watching now. Well, if he is, man, he need to know that I'm a fan of him, bro. I ain't like your last performance, but I am a fan of you. And if you ever want to come on the channel, you always got an open platform to chop it up with your boy. You know what I mean? Hopefully, we can get a Shakur Stevenson interview up and popping, bro. I would love to bring him on the channel. I wish I knew somebody that knew, and I do know people that know him, but not like all that cool where we'll be able to connect. You know what I'm saying? Shame Lord, he says, "You help me when it's dark and cold. Thanks, bro." Damn. Okay, yeah. I mean, shit, it's kind of deep. I'm happy that I could help you with that though, man. I appreciate that. Appreciate the kind words. Stop Motion MMA says, speaking of Blair Cobbs, he just signed with Don King. Yeah, it looks like Don King is on a resurgence, man. It seemed like he bouncing back and he actually signing some guys, man. I guess he's bringing something to the table that's enticing these guys to sign with him. You know what I mean? I mean, he had a couple of heavyweights in the past. I knew their names and stuff like that, or even heavyweights that fought on his card and shit like that. But now, he signed Adrian Broner, who is definitely his biggest name in a long time, and now he got Blair Cobbs. So, could we see a possible fight between Blair Cobbs and Adrian Broner? I like to see it, man. Why not? That's a good fight. You know what I mean? That shit'll probably be. I don't know if it'll be at 140, 147, but I don't think Adrian Broner gonna make 140 anymore, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Like Adrian Broner got a history of making like 140 or like making a fight at 140, then last minute trying to change the weight. You know what I mean? Because obviously he cut a lot of corners, he indulges in a lot of things that hurt his weight cut process. So, it's always tough for him to get them last pounds off. But Blair Cobbs versus Adrian Broner would be a good fight. That'd be a good fight, man. I would like to see Don King have a little bit of a run before it's all said and done. I mean, that boy in his 90s. So, it's only a matter of time, unfortunately, before he got to go. So before he go, I'd like to see him do a little run, man, where he could get involved in some solid fights. Blair Cobbs and Adrian Broner might be in the right direction. For sure. Ryan versus Teofimo for the most diluted man in boxing title. Bro, can you imagine the buildup between them two? Two mentally unhealthy dudes, bro. just going at it with each other, bro. I might just lose my mind trying to like make videos reacting to their claims and stuff like that, bro. Because both of these dudes stress me out. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like they just be so wrong and just be coming out of nowhere with the stuff to the point where I'm starting to think like, yo, I think they just say shit just to get a rise out of people like me. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't be knowing. I'm like, bro, there's no way that they actually think this way. Like they gotta be trolling. You see what I mean? But the build up between them two would actually be kind of crazy. I ain't gonna lie. And it'll be a good fight, but I got T.O. whooping Ryan ass for sure. Anonymous says Ryan Garcia is like a 14-year-old kid looking for attention and validation from his peers. Yeah, like I remember when I was a kid, right? And like Facebook was up and popping. I used to like try to make like funny like statuses so I could get a lot of likes and shit. And whenever I would make like a post that I thought was funny and only got like 3, 4 likes, man, I used to be like, fuck, man. I used to feel like shit. That's how like Ryan Garcia is now. You know what I'm saying? As like a man in his mid-20s. We're about the same age, me and Ryan Garcia. You could tell we two totally different people. We prioritize different things. I move in a much more like mature way than that man, bro. It's like he's constantly seeking validation. He's constantly seeking attention. You know what I'm saying? Sergio says, "Bro, you're old. This was days ago." What are you talking about? My headline? Okay, let's check. Let's check when he said this because he recently just critiqued Victor Conti today. So let's see if you actually right or not. 7 hours ago, Ryan Garcia says to Victor Conti, "Got Devin on that EPO, huh? You are a good one, Mr. Snake. Cheaters never win." So this was 7 hours ago. This wasn't days ago. You know what I'm saying? Sergio, Devin ain't doing nothing, bro. Can't wait till Ryan knocks this kid out. I mean, I highly doubt that, but you entitled to your opinion. You know what I mean? What makes you so sure that Ryan Garcia is gonna do that to Devin Haney? What gives you that reassurance? What about the fight stylistically makes you believe that Ryan Garcia is gonna do something to Devin Haney or possibly even win the fight or knock Devin Haney out? Just explain it. You know what I mean? If you're able to explain it uh, in a way where people could understand and actually like like feel where you coming from, then I'll respect your opinion. But if you just out here just making stupid points like that, then we ain't gonna respect it. You know what I mean? You got to back up these opinions that you have, and you know what I'm saying? This kid be training every day, huh? This kid be training. How often you think Devin Haney train? Like, what are you talking about? And they just sent Ryan off the camp like a week ago, not even a week ago. So what are you talking about? Ryan just started training. Devin been training. Like, what are you talking about? Like, how do you think what? So what are you saying? This guy's not training either? It's crazy when I make little points like this. I had somebody in the comments earlier today tell me, uh, are are you getting paid by DH? Do you work for Devin Haney Promotions? Bro, how the fuck am I working for Devin Haney Promotions when all I'm doing is pointing out Ryan Garcia's hypocritical statement? The man he called Devin Haney a cheater, right? Because he's involved with Victor Conti, and Victor Conti has a history of dealing with performance enhancement drugs, which is ultimately true. And I've always said that I don't understand why this man is still in boxing. Guys like Louis Rusto are never able to work in boxing again. Meanwhile, Victor Conti, who showed athletes like Shane Mosley how to inject steroids and brought steroids to the table, that whole Balco scandal was real. You know what I'm saying? Even with baseball and shit like that, he was involved with. You know what I mean? He should never be able to come back into the sport of boxing again. You know what I mean? But somehow he was able to weasel his way back in. You feel me? But I mean, he does great sponsorship opportunities for fighters. He gets them paid or whatever. So, they don't mind it. You know what I mean? As long as you cutting a check, I don't think they would care to walk around with this snack shit on or promote certain supplements and shit like that. But regardless, what I'm trying to say is Ryan Garcia out here talking about Devin Haney's a cheater for Victor Conti. Meanwhile, Ryan Garcia has a history of dealing with Victor Conte. The man was on stage with a snack athlete shirt on. You talking shit about Victor Conte and how he's this calling him Mr. Snake, bro. You've dealt with Mr. Snake, bro. The man you're calling Mr. Snake, you were rocking his brand. You were rocking his brand, bro. So how does that make you look? It makes you look like a hypocrite. It makes you look like you're contradicting yourself. It makes you look like a sometime ass nigga. And that's why Bill Haney was calling him ungrateful. Because when you was doing business with the motherfucker Victor Conte, you ain't have nothing bad to say about him. But now that, you're no longer dealing with him and you see Devin Haney working with him, now you want to shit on him. Corny, bro. Corny as shit. Why you talking shit about the man who was helped feeding you at one point. Regardless of whether he's a cheater or not, whatever, regardless of what Victor Conte's history is, that does not change the fact that at one point in time you were working with him. Simple and plain. But let's see what this dude Sergio talking about. Devin don't got no power. All his last fights he lost. Yo, can somebody get Sergio up out of here? Can somebody get him up out of here, bro? This dude, he might be smoking the same shit Ryan Garcia been smoking. You know what I'm saying? That nigga definitely smoking that ooh-wee. We gotta get him up out of here with that nut shit he talking about. For sure. He wilding. Yeah, I think he having them same mental issues his boy Ryan had. You know what I mean? Kind of sound like Ryan shit. That might be Ryan burner account right there. These dudes get their hearts hurt when someone compliments a fighter they hate. Yo, on some real shit, bro. Yep. That's a fact. Stop Moses says you can't say your opinion no more. If you do, consider the hater. Exactly. If it's an opinion that goes against their favorite fighter or what they believe in, bro, you're a hater. And that's just what it is. And it's unfortunate that people think like that because as easy as you could call somebody a hater, you could respect their opinion and just go about your fucking day. It's not hard to do at all. Unless you close-minded. You know what I mean? Unless you like an immature child. Do I respect Victor Conte? No, I don't. You know what I mean? I do feel like people do. I do believe that people can change for the better. You know what I mean? I do feel like somebody could come back after making a mistake and contribute to a good cause. But somebody like Victor Conte, man, what he did could have, if he would have continued to get away with it, could have been real detrimental to the sport of boxing. And he contributed it. He came into the game with no respect for it, contributed to it in the worst way possible by injecting these fighters with steroids and stuff like that. And Victor Conte could have easily been a reason why a boxer could have possibly passed away in the ring. You know what I mean? Because you pumping these guys up with drugs that give them unnatural like abilities and shit, give them more power giving them more power, giving them more speed, more ferociousness. So Victor Conte, and thank God it didn't happen, but he could have easily been a reason why somebody died in the ring. So if you're contributing to boxing to the point where you may be the reason somebody could lose their life in there, it's hard for me to respect you. No, I don't respect Victor Conte. And we had fighters in the past that was offered like snack sponsorships and shit like that. And we turned it down. That's not happening at all. We don't want nothing to do with any of that. You know what I'm saying? We don't want nothing to do with somebody like Victor Conte who's had that negative impact on the sport like that. It's almost like a judge, right? Like somebody who judges fights, blatantly admitting to taking bribes to have scorecards go different ways, and then they do their time for they step away from the sport. They pay their fine or they serve the time necessary for committing that crime and then coming back to be like somebody who runs like a sanctioning body, like a world title organization. Like, bro, no, bro, not at all. Why would we want him back in the sport? Why would we want a judge that was openly taking bribes and misjudging fights back in the sport of boxing? They don't deserve to be here. I don't feel like Victor Conte, regardless of him spending time in the fence, however long he was in there, I don't think he deserves to come back to the sport of boxing. I think that he should stay away from boxing as much as he can. But Boxing is the only sport that would allow that man to come back in the building. They just gave Dillian White's about to fight again. Dillian White is about to fight again, bro. That man done tested positive. I don't know how many times already. He was supposed to fight AJ, test positive again. They talking about he about to fight this weekend or sometime soon, or he's back and he's gonna fight this person. Like, bro, how many chances is this man gonna get? Like, how many chances is Dillian White gonna get, bro? Like, seriously. It's disgusting, bro. Did I see Tank delete his Instagram and Twitter? No, I did not. I did not. But I did notice. I did notice when I was scrolling through some of like my older tweets. It did say like, like the thing that he had posted was like no longer available and shit like that. But I thought it was because he deleted the tweet because he has a history of deleting tweets. But if he deactivated his social media, I don't know. That could mean anything. I'm not sure what that means. He said Snake hasn't been caught up in anything illegal. Well, I mean, that's good. But I'm not talking about Snake. I'm talking about Victor Conti. He's been caught in very illegal activities. White said his sample was tainted. Okay, so what happened to his B sample then? Was the other sample tainted as well? It's crazy. I don't believe none of that, bro. The reality of the situation is that Dillian White is a fucking cheater. That's all there is to it. Anybody that disputes that is a moron. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like the controversial moron. So he could say his sample was tainted all he want. That doesn't. I mean, the fact still remains he failed several performance enhancement drug tests. Shout out to them doping agencies that's catching Dillian White. I hope they continue to catch him. And I wonder how long it'll take until they give this man some type of permanent ban because I think that's what he honestly deserves. Dillian White does not deserve to be back in the sport of boxing. If you fail more than once, you don't deserve to come back to the sport of boxing. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're able to really prove that shit was like some type of mistake or, actually able to prove that your sample was tainted. Somehow, some way, Dillian White deserves a permanent ban from the sport of boxing. He should never be allowed to lace on a pair of gloves ever again. He's a multiple. It's not like one time like Canelo Alvarez and shit. Multiple drug tests. He has failed. Alexander Povetkin has failed multiple drug tests. These people just continue to come back to the sport of boxing. And if Alexander Povetkin wasn't old, he'd probably still be boxing right now. Nobody would really care. It's crazy how you could do these things and then, had the fans just forget everything happened to you. Like I don't be understanding this shit, bro. When we start permanently banning motherfuckers from the sport of boxing, you better believe them people gonna stop fucking with their juice for sure. Yep. That's a fact, J Cash. Yep. Ray Lewis, A-Rod, Shane Mosley. Those are only a few names. Mazuma, when your fighters is in the gym and about to have a fight, you as a coach, the other corner team. What? I'm trying to understand this question. When your fighters is in the gym and about to have a fight, you as a coach, the other corner team of the opponent, is it strictly business or personal due to the fact they're trying to take you? Oh, well, it all depends. It all depends on how they approach the situation. You know what I mean? Usually it is business because, I don't typically have a problem with anybody. You know what I mean? I do think it's a competitive thing going on between us because obviously they want to beat us and we want to beat them or whatever. But we approach it in a business uh in a business sense. You know what I mean? We approach it business like. You know what I mean? Now if they come out and they start talking shit or because I had several people on social media talk shit about my fighters or talk about how they gonna do this and that, and then that's when shit might start to get personal from there because you could have easily just took the humble approach, but you decided to run your mouth. So in person, I'm gonna ask you what that shit was about, and whether it was just you, trying to hype yourself up or what. You see what I'm saying? But there's been times where it's been personal. I mean, most of the time it's been business. It all depends on what they bring to the table because I match what they match. Whatever type time they on, that's what I'm on. So if you want to be cool, that's what I prefer to do. I'd rather be cool, and regardless of the outcome, I'll shake your hand afterwards and, thank you for a great fight. You know what I'm saying? But if you come out and you talking disrespectful, which is usually the trainers who got bum ass fighters or they try to live through their fighters, you see what I mean? That's usually the ones I had problems with. These fake ass boxing trainers out here that think that um, because they hold pads for a half hour with their fighters, that they some type of boxing coaches when they really don't. They really can't even break a fighter down and build one from scratch. A lot of the fighters that these guys be having already be 10, 15 fights in, and then they'll have a couple wins with them and think that they boxing coaches. That's pro and amateur boxing coaches, by the way. A lot of these pro coaches that y'all be watching on social media and shit like that, I done cooked them in the amateurs, and I'm 25 years old. You see what I mean? These dudes be in their late 30s, early 40s, mid 40s, early 50s, and I done got dubs. Some of the best coaches, well, I'm not even gonna say the best coaches. Some of the most well-known coaches that y'all be talking about on the internet and shit like that, that's from Philly. I done cooked already. And the pros and the amateurs by myself. You know what I'm saying? These are dudes that be calling themselves boxing coaches and they be legit ass. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. I teach. I do feel the same way about Big Baby Miller. I do. Yeah, I don't think he should be allowed in boxing no more, bro. Anybody, bro. I don't give a fuck who you are. If you fail drug tests multiple times, unless it's like recreational shit, like how Benavidez got caught up on the yayo and all that shit. Now that's a little different. That just means that you got some habits outside of the ring that you need to take care of. You know what I mean? But I'm talking about like if you want HGH or clenbuterol or any of them on any of these substances that you're using to try to get an advantage in the ring, if you touch for that multiple times, then you need to get the fuck out of boxing, bro. Because boxing don't need people like you representing the sport. Simple and plain. Simple and plain. And if anybody believes that fighters still need to belong in the sport of boxing after failing multiple drug tests, that lets me know that you're not a fan of boxing how you claim to be. You might be a fan of that person that tests positive for banned substances. But in terms of you being a fan of the sport, part of being a fan of the sport is holding some sort of integrity with the sport. If you constantly allow drug teams to find their way back into the sport, it just shows that you don't really got the love and respect for it that you claim you do. You feel what I mean? So I don't see how anybody who's a fan of boxing could go against that claim right there. If you fail multiple drug tests, you do not deserve to be in the sport of boxing. Point blank. Period. Big Baby, Miller, or White, who you got? I mean, if they both juiced up, I'm gonna say Big Baby. You know what I mean? Dillian White got a nasty left hook. He got power or whatever. But one thing about Big Baby was he was big as fuck. He never got tired and he threw a lot of punches. Dillian White struggled with his conditioning with and without performance enhancement drugs. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go with Big Baby Miller because his conditioning was better and he probably would have overwhelmed and stopped White in the later rounds. But Big Baby wasn't honest with his defense. He got caught with a hook. It might have been lights out for him. And I still believe that if Big Baby trained properly for Daniel Dubois, I think he would have beat him. The thing is, Big Baby Miller could fight. He's not bad. It's just that, he's a fucking cheater. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Were there times your fighter didn't shake hands with the opponents? Nah, nah, not at all. Regardless, I mean, I've had fighters win. I had fighters that have lost contests, and I'll always make sure that they maintain their sportsmanship. You know what I'm saying? But there have been opponents of ours that didn't shake our hand after a fight. You know what I mean? I had coaches that try to avoid me after a fight after I try to, show my respect. You know what I'm saying? But, there's some people that's better at taking losses than others. You know what I mean? Like whenever like one of my guys came up short in a fight, I never blamed the other corner. They did what they were supposed to do. And that was try to win. And they won. You know what I mean? So now whenever one of my fighters has a setback, the thing I automatically do is I self-reflect. What did I do wrong? You know, what do I need to work on? What do I need to tighten up with this fighter so he won't have to, go through this situation again? I think about me. I don't take it out on the other people. I don't even take it out on, unless like my fighter isn't like completely list. Like let's say it's a situation where like I'm giving him instructions and he's following it, he still come up short. You know what I mean? Um, that I automatically go to me. You know what I'm saying? What did I do wrong? What do I need to work on? What do I need to tighten up? What do I need to add to this camp? What do I need to fall back from in this camp? What should we? How often should we be sparring? Shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Jay Cash says LeBron was on HGH when he tore a tendon in his foot. Said my doctor said I'm healing faster than anyone he's seen with his injury. HGH is the answer for superhuman muscle memory. Yeah, I'm very familiar with HGH. That's what I was suspecting Manny Pacquiao was on at one point in time. You know what I mean? But LeBron being on HGH, that's not far fetched. You know what I mean? That's definitely not far fetched. Like this man done been in like that man done been in the NBA for I don't know what like 21 years already. And he's never really had any like significant injuries that have delayed his career or anything like that. And the fact that he's not, obviously he's slowed down a little bit, but the fact that he hasn't like, you know, even been close to being considered washed up yet is kind of suspicious. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and there's been some rumors circulating that LeBron is on some type of performance enhancement drugs. You know what I mean? But nobody's really decided to talk about it. But regardless, it's a little bit eye opening. It makes me scratch my head a little bit. Like ain't no way. Like LeBron is human at the end of the day. There's no way like this man just still performing at a high level like this, and he's in his late 30s. I don't know. Yeah, see, these are things I didn't even know about Jay Cash. You really put me on game right now. Yeah, yeah, stop motion. You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? Yeah, 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 for sure. But I don't really like to make assumptions about people being on performance enhancement drugs. I'd rather just stick to the facts. You know what I mean? Like Canelo, I could be like, oh, he's a fucking cheater. But call us like Ryan Garcia claiming Devin Haney is a cheater. That's like you sound stupid because you don't have no concrete evidence to support that. I'm the motherfucker that like to stick behind the facts. I don't really jump out the window and make assumptions. You know what I mean? So yeah, for sure. LeBron, his agent, and wife are all involved in biogenesis clinic scandal in Miami. Listen, bro, that shit might all be valid. You know, if there was a report that came out that confirmed all of this shit, I wouldn't be surprised at all. Wouldn't be surprised at all. There's a lot of athletes that I look at, that I'll never say out loud, you know what I mean? Or at least on video or camera or anything like that. There's a few boxers out here right now that, you know, I look at them and I look at how the way they perform and shit, and I'll be like, definitely suspicious. You know what I mean? Definitely, you know, for sure suspicious. But and there's like I'm gonna tell you one thing. I knew Shannon Briggs was on the juice. I knew Shannon Briggs was on the juice. This motherfucker was in his 40s, cut up like he was a 20-year-old. And I was like, how him in his late 40s like this, mid to late 40s at the time, is able to sustain that type of muscle, because your testosterone levels drop significantly as you get older. So I'm like, how is he able to keep up this type of muscle mass? Like this dude had like a stomach with and still had a six pack, shoulders all big. He chiseled in the. I'm like, yo, this is really weird. Like this man is old as hell with a young motherfucker body. I'm like, how that work? How the hell that work? Like The Rock and shit like that? Suspicious. Absolutely suspicious. You know what I'm saying? But Shannon Briggs, I knew when he was active, when he went in the UK and he was supposed to fight David Hay and all that shit. He was calling out the Klitschko's. I knew he was on that shit. I just didn't have no evidence. So I just fell back and I didn't say nothing. Soon, and I got videos from that shit years ago speaking about it. You look at my old Mazuma TV videos when I was like 19, 20 years old, I talk about it. And then it came to reality, and I'm like, I told y'all niggas, bro. I told y'all. I think that shit pretty obvious, bro. You know what I'm saying? Which boxer do you believe is the best role model? That's a great question. The best role model, we probably gonna go with Sean Porter's a good role model. You know what I mean? That boy barely cursed. Very family oriented guy. Listens to his dad. Real nice dude. I'm gonna say him. Sean Porter. We gonna say Andre Ward. Andre Ward stuck by his wife all these years. You never heard about him embarrassing his wife or anything like that. Real religious dude. Doesn't engage in like the ignorant shit. He's a real family oriented dude as well. Andre Ward is a good one. Let's see who else. Let's see. Let's do one more. Let's do who's a nice guy? I'm gonna say Jaron Ennis, bro. bro. Like he plays a low key man, not a flashy dude at all. Real nice dude. Uh, makes his presence known. Don't ever disrespect nobody. He give everybody a picture and an autograph. You know, he doesn't refrain from the people or anything like that. I'm gonna tell you this: Danny Garcia is a nice dude too. Danny Garcia is a nice dude too. There are some things that he do that I disagree with, but as a person, real nice dude. You feel me? So they some good dudes. You know. So that's those some good guys. And Boots, he strictly keeps it boxing. You know what I mean? You don't ever hear Boots say anything personal about his life or what he got going on, at least publicly. You know what I'm saying? He keeps it boxing, man. You could tell he genuinely loves boxing. And he go to church and all. Boots is a religion. He follows a religion too, you know. I think he be going to church every Sunday. Like I'll see him post stuff. He was like, "Great day at church today" and shit like that. So Boots be locked in on his craft, man, and he don't engage in no ignorant shit. So you know, you gotta respect that man. Boots is an amazing dude, bro. Pause. Like he would be a great role model for anybody. And what I respect about Boost too is that he took one of his close homies, started his promotional company and signed him and now moving him. Somebody he done grew up with, somebody that he known since he was a cub. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta respect that, bro. Boost moved with integrity. He an honorable dude for sure. So shout out to him. We got 25 people in the building, man. Hit the like button as soon as you come in if you appreciate the content. You know what I'm saying? Do y'all hear that shit, bro? These fucking motorcycles, bro. It get a little warm out here and everybody start acting up, switching up all crazy. Hey, bro, it's about to be 12 in the morning. Y'all niggas out here wilding. You know what I mean? He said, I just watched your Havers Briggs video. That shit old, bro. Y'all gotta understand, bro. I've been on the YouTube boxing scene for well over a decade already, bro. Or close to it. I started making videos about like first time I think I posted a video was like 7, 8 years ago. So I was about like 19, 20. So that, yeah, bro. I was on the boxing scene way before I started making videos. For sure. I had older channels too that I had like made videos on, but I was terrible at speaking like on video at the time. So I used to like second guess myself and then, take the videos off and shit like that. Teach back in the building. He says, do you think trainers in the corner giving instructions are concerned when a cameraman is right there filming? Do you think trainers are concerned? It depends on what they telling them. You know what I mean? Because um, I do feel like them cameramen be, a little bit too newsy with what's going on in the corner. Um, I feel like not everything needs to be said. I mean, not everything needs to be heard in the corner. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that should stick between the trainer and the fighter or whoever is, the cut man, whoever the hell is involved in the corner. You know what I mean? Because it could easily be a situation where a fighter tells their trainer like they hurt their hand or something, but they don't want nobody else to know. You know what I'm saying? That could get to the cameraman. The cameraman could pick up the audio, could go over to the commentator. Now the commentator's talking about it, and then somebody from the crowd or somebody whoever's watching can inform somebody in the corner and then tell the opponent. You know what I'm saying? So that's not something you really. I feel like only selective things should be revealed in the corner. You know what I'm saying? That's what I believe. I don't think that too much information should be given out, or even recorded while the trainer and the fighter is, going back and forth, bouncing ideas off each other or whatever. You think Prime Briggs beats Prime Hay? Oof. I don't know, man. You gotta understand, David Hay was a cruiserweight, right? That eventually moved up to heavyweight. He was pretty undersized. Shannon Briggs was like one of the first like big heavyweights, bro. Like if you ever see Shannon Briggs in person, that's a big motherfucker right there, bro. And Shannon Briggs had fast hands. He was explosive, but he did struggle with asthma. So if he didn't get you out early, he usually struggled in them later rounds. You see what I mean? But I don't know. But I don't know if David Hay would have been able to keep up with Shannon Briggs' onslaught in them early rounds because Shannon Briggs got the most first round knockouts in boxing history. You see what I mean? So, if he was able to take the punishment that Shannon Briggs was dishing out in them early rounds, then he could probably get Briggs in the later rounds. But I don't know. I think that favors Shannon Briggs if they were to fight both in their primes. I ain't gonna lie to you. I never really rated David Hay that much. You know what I'm saying? Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Well, y'all. Let me see what y'all talking about. He was way too small for Briggs. That's what I'm saying. He said, "Let's go, champ." That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if Shannon Briggs didn't struggle with asthma and shit like that, he would have been I think he would have been a lot bigger than what he was supposed to. You know what I mean? He was a two-time heavyweight champion of the world. He beat George Foreman. He beat Ray Mercer. You know what I mean? He has some good people on his resume. I ain't gonna lie to you. But he even competed in K1. He was one of very few boxers that, fought in different martial arts and shit like that. So Shannon Briggs, he was with the shits. He was definitely with the shits. Says who was announced to fight on Tank's undercard in July. I didn't even hear a date for Javante Davis's fight. So how the hell would I know the undercard? I mean, I just heard that he may possibly fight in the summer. That's all I really heard. I didn't hear nothing else. But there was rumors that Cody Crawley and Jerron Ennis might fight on his undercard and stuff like that. But I didn't hear. I didn't even hear a legit date yet. I didn't even hear a legit date at all, which kind of concerns me because y'all announced Canelo Alvarez's fight right away. You know what I'm saying? But these other guys got to sit and wait for you know to get phone calls to get possible dates. Canelo Alvarez, and these are guys that are like loyal PBC fighters that have been on the roster for years. Meanwhile, this dude Canelo Alvarez, he just doing a 3-fight deal, and the PBC just really catering to him. You see what I mean? I don't really understand that, bro. How about the guys that's actually keeping that really brought PBC to fame? Like what's going on with Gervonta Davis fight date? You know, when is Earl Spence coming back? What's the time frame for him? Like when's Jamal Charlo coming back? You feel what I mean? There's guys that's leaving the PBC, like Michelle Rivera, he left the PBC. Super L left the PBC after doing business with them. Like, what's going on with Jerron Ennis? Why hasn't he fought since July? I know he's not a PBC fighter, but he works with Steven Espinoza. Steven Espinoza got a good relationship with Al Heyman. What's up with him? What's up with all these guys? Danny Garcia, when the fuck is he gonna fight? He's supposed to fight in December. What happened? He's supposed to fight Laura. What happened? Is he gonna fight? When I spoke to Danny, he said he not fighting Laura no more. Laura about to fight that Zarafa dude, that dude who was like a stripper and got his neck broke by Peter Quillen. What the fuck is going on with the PBC and these guys, man? What's the holdup? Y'all so quick to, give Canelo whatever the hell he want. Meanwhile, these guys got to sit on the shelf and just hopefully get a call to fight this year. Where's Rashidi Ellis at? Where's Rashidi Ellis at? He lost to Romain Villa. Haven't heard from him since. Where the fuck is Romain Villa? There's still some good fights that could be made. I think Romain Villa could beat a lot of guys at welterweight right now. Him and Cody Crawley would have been a good joint. I would like to see how that shit would have unfolded. Cody Crawley like to be aggressive and fight inside. I would like to see how he stood up to Romain Villa's attack. Who gets retired? What the fuck going on with him? I don't know if it's a money situation or what, but what these guys gotta do, I guess they gonna have to take some pay cuts, man, in order to stay active and not be a victim to ring rust or inactivity or anything like that. They gonna have to take some pay cuts. Where the fuck is Andy Ruiz? Gary Russell has had one fight every year from 2015 to 2022. That's unfortunate, bro. We could have seen so much more out of a lot of these guys, but what stunned their growth is inactivity, bro. That's why they say inactivity kills. It don't only just kill your performances, bro. It kills your longevity. It stunts your growth as like a fighter, everything. Andy left PBC. Okay, where he at? What he doing? You see what I mean? Like what's going on with these guys, bro? Like it's unfortunate that PBC got probably one of the most talented rosters in the entire sport of boxing, but the most inactive roster in the sport of boxing. Gary is 36 now. Okay. What he got going on? I haven't heard from him since, he fought. Who was it? MarkMazuma? Yep. Andy Ruiz became a victim to his own success. Leo Santa Cruz, that's another one. That's a great one. Andy Ruiz showed you to never get too comfortable, though, man. It's unfortunate how his shit panned out. That man went from being on top of the world to damn, I'm having a motherfucking allergy attack right now. Let me see something real quick. Andy really went from being on top of the world, bro, the first Mexican heavyweight champion. He get all these endorsements, these sponsorships, bro. Life changed overnight, fucked up everything in his comeback fight. Eddie Hearn and Joshua seeing Andy lacking. They was like, oh yeah, we gotta jump on this right now. They see he wasn't focused. They see he was eating and chilling and enjoying his money because that might have been his main motivation was to just get paid. You see what I mean? He's like, man, he probably came from a fucked up situation. He like, man, like I need to get some money, man. I could really make it out doing this shit. I could really make it out. Then he finally made it out. He became the unified heavyweight champion of the world, bro. He became the unified heavyweight champion of the world, bro. Like, made the world stop after that fight because a lot of people counted him out. But I was one of very few people that was like, Andy may be a dangerous fight for AJ, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I watched Andy come up when he was that fat motherfucker with no tattoos on top rank and shit like that. Like I've seen him grow and develop. Then I seen that fight with Joseph Parker, and I was like, yo, I think he won that fight. You know what I mean? And then after that whole situation, they dropped him from top rank. PBC picked him up. He looked impressive in his PBC debut. AJ was supposed to fight Gerald Miller. Gerald Miller tested positive. So they pull him out of the fight. They looking for a replacement. Andy Ruiz sends Eddie Hearn a DM. They get the shit going. What they miscalculated was the fact that Andy Ruiz had just fought, so he was fresh. You know what I mean? He was active. You feel me? So then they throw him in the ring with AJ, thinking that he has no chance against AJ. They judging him by his physique and all that. Ruiz gets dropped. They're like, oh, he about to get stopped. They get an exchange. He hurts AJ, drops AJ several times, and becomes the new. But instead of staying focused, this is the difference between, good fighters and great fighters because Ruiz is a good fighter, but he's not a great fighter. And the reason why I know he's not a great fighter is because he doesn't share the same mentality as these great fighters. Adopt the mentality that the work is never done. You see what I mean? The work is never done. Andy won that one fight and thought the work was done. He thought that he accomplished everything, that he couldn't be faded afterwards. You see what I mean? Guys like Floyd Mayweather have done what AJ has done multiple times and still worked like he was broke. You see what I mean? And Floyd is a great fighter. Andy is a good fighter. Guys like Bernard Hopkins, was undisputed at middleweight, moved up 2 weight classes, beat Antonio Tarver, still hungry all the way until his late 40s, going into his 50s. You see what I mean? It's like when you somebody like Andy, if you could get satisfied that easy, bro, that's a huge, huge negative to have, like, mentality-wise as a fighter. If he would have stood on top of his game, imagine he would have stood focused, stood in the gym, remained hungry and stuff like that, and did that rematch with AJ. He would have beat him again, became an even bigger star. Because they would have been like, oh shit, this wasn't a bluff. Like, this was the real deal. Because him losing that immediate rematch to AJ, they was like, yo, this nigga a one-hit wonder. They start comparing him to Buster Douglas and shit. I'm like, damn. And ever since then, Andy Ruiz hasn't been able to get that spark back, man. Like, he fought. Who the hell he fought? Who he fought? Hold on. Let's look this shit up. Because I know Andy, after he lost to AJ, he came back and fought who? He fought Chris Areola 2 years later. After losing to AJ in 2019, he came back 2 years later, bro. Wow. and fought Chris Arreola and looked like dog shit against Arreola. You know what I'm saying? Got dropped by Areola and all. Had Areola looking like he was young in his prime and shit. And then comes back a year and some change afterwards and fights a old ass, damaged goods and Luis Ortiz. You know what I'm saying? Now, if he would have fought the Luis Ortiz before the Wilder punishment, I think his ass would have been in trouble. But regardless, he didn't really look impressive in that Luis Ortiz fight neither because Ruiz was still giving him work. You feel me? So since then, I mean, they fought in 2022. It's currently 2024, and he's just completely inactive, man. It's sad, bro, because Andy Ruiz could have really did something. He went from fighting 3 times in 2019 to not having a fight in 2 years. You know, in the past, what? The past 4 years, he's only fought twice. Unfortunate. He's only fought twice in the last 4 years. Luis Ortiz looking for a fight. Mm. I don't know how that necessarily work. Is Luis Ortiz still with PBC? Like, what's the situation with that? Because if that's the case, like, if Luis Ortiz really want to get a fight, he gonna have to go see Turkey Al Sheik. That's what it's looking like. All the heavyweights is over there right now. The UK heavyweights, the US heavyweights, all the heavyweights that's really getting to a bag right now. They working with Turkey Al Sheik out there in Saudi Arabia. You see what I mean? He said Ortiz needs to retire. Yo, Luis Ortiz was a scary motherfucker at one point, bro. I think the age mixed in with the punishment he received from Deontay Wilder threw his career off. You see what I mean? I think the worst thing that happened to Luis Ortiz recently fought. Did he really? Let's check this out. Oh shit, he did. He fought in January. I didn't even know that. He knocked Bo out, huh? Mm. Luis Ortiz is currently 44 years old. Allegedly, because them Cubans be older than what they say they is. But yeah, man. Yeah. He's ranked number 16 in the world at heavyweight. He could probably get another good fight. But if you want to get to some real money and you want to fight some top competition, you're gonna have to slide to Saudi Arabia, my brother. They probably match you up on some Cuba versus Cuba shit, probably match you up against like, Frank Sanchez or some shit like that. Or who really who popping? Who be over there? I mean, you could fight Dillian White if Eddie will let you. You know what I mean? But yeah, Ortiz. Yeah. J Cash. Cubans be lying about their ages just as much as African immigrants. I'm 12. Yeah, for sure. But that's from that bench warmers. That shit hilarious. He said, "How do you think Matias would do at 147?" Oh, well, it depends on who he's fighting, my brother. But from what I understand, he makes 140 pretty easy. So there's no point in really, you know, going up to welterweight. Now if he going up against somebody like the likes of Jerron Ennis, I think that he'll be in a lot of trouble because stylistically, I think Jerron Ennis will be a nightmare for him. But if we matching him up against guys like Mario Barrios and you know, uh, I'm only mentioning Ugas because he didn't announce his retirement yet. But like your Dennis Ugas and like Cody Crawley and shit like that, the lower level guys at welterweight, Subrel could give a lot of problems to or actually beat. You see what I mean? But he not fucking with Boots, man. I'm gonna keep it a buck. As much as it hurts me to say that, because I'm a big Super L fan, I'm an even bigger Jerron Ennis fan, and yeah, Boots is on a whole different level. That's not somebody that he should be looking to fight at all. But I think that like Mill City had asked his coach Panda about moving up to 147 and shit like that, and they said that they make 140 extremely easy. So there's no point in him even considering that at this point in time. You know what I mean? Super L don't look like a big guy though. You know what I mean? I haven't seen him in person, so I don't know. think my dad has seen him in person. I think my dad got a picture with him. And I didn't see like any like significant like size difference. You feel me? So I don't know. But Boots will punish Subriel, man. I wouldn't want to see that. That would really upset me to see that. Matias look like he can make 135. I don't know, man. It looked like he put on some weight during the off season when he not training. It looked like his face get real nice and full. You got Matias beating Boots. You crazy as hell. I'm sorry. I love Subriel, but he ain't fading no Boots. Boots will punish Subriel. He not standing up to Boots' power like that. If he walked the Boots like that, man, he gonna get punished. Just like Romain Villa did. It'll look just like Romain Villa. Boots is too strong, man. The size difference, the speed, the power, the athleticism. You know, he'll break Matias down, man. He'll stop Subriel if they fight. I don't want to see that. PBC want to match Matias with Boots, but Subriel's a match from now. He's not with PBC no more. And from what I understand, Boots got some like promotional issues going on, and he handling lawsuits and shit like that. So now matching Boo Boo with Morel. What kind of matchmaking is that? I mean, it sounds like Boo Boo trying to cash out. That's what it was looking like. You know, it's getting to the point where Demetrius Andre's age is catching up to him, man. He took a lot of punishment in that David Benavidez fight. He said he was gonna go back down to 160. I think that's what Andre Rozier has said. Somebody who works with Demetrius Andre, you know, here and there. But if he takes on this David Morrell fight at 168, man, that just lets me know that he trying to cash out, bro. That's what it's looking like. And I don't even know if he'll get much money out of Morrell. I don't know. You know, but I think I don't know. That's not a safe bet for Andre. I would have much rather see him go down to 160 and try to get that Jamal Charlo fight. You know, John Beck, one of them type dudes. I would have rather have seen that. He would have had a better chance against them. But Morrell will steamroll Demetrius Andre. You know what I mean? I don't want to see that, bro. I was a big Demetrius Andre fan coming up, like 2012, 2013, when he was on HBO stomping shit, bro. I was a big Demetrius Andre fan, bro. But, you know, unfortunately, he made some bad choices business-wise, you know, signing with these promotional companies that wasn't able to appease him or just signing with the wrong people. You know what I mean? Like Eddie Hearn was able to keep him busy and stuff like that, get him a couple paydays, but wasn't able to secure the big fights. You know, that signs with PBC. You know, he fights Damon Nicholson, and then they throw him right into the dungeon with David Benavidez, and then gets smoked. You see what I mean? So a lot of inactivity plagued Demetrius Andre's career, along with some, you know, not smart business moves. You feel what I mean? And then, you know, he was also a victim to the politics of boxing, with guys feeling like he don't bring much to the table. You know, he's a high risk, low reward, so they didn't even look his way. So I think like every bad scenario possible that could happen in boxing happens to Demetrius Andre, which is why he wasn't able to be, you know, that big fighter that he was supposed to be, because he was a hell of an amateur. You know what I'm saying? He was a hell of an amateur. He beat guys like Keith Thurman. You know, I heard he had a close fight with Arislandi Lara in the amateurs and shit like that. So, you know, Demetrius Andre was the truth. You feel me? I think there was like an old video. Keith Thurman was like, "Yo, this is the last one to give me a whooping," and stuff like that. So, you know, a lot of people respect Demetrius Andre for what he did in the amateurs, but unfortunately, he wasn't able to shine as much in the pros. Plant is a good fight for Boo Boo. That's a good fight. That's definitely a good fight. But I think that Caleb Plant, at this point in time, he wants to make that Jamal Charlo fight. You see what I mean? Because they got some bad blood. It'll be a good build up. You know what I mean? I think that Caleb Plant, he wants to make the biggest fights possible so he can get the biggest checks possible, which I'm not mad at. Because at the end of the day, bro, whether these people want to admit it or not, you know, that they be trying to marinate stuff and shit like that. But the most money that you can make is with the big fights. The fights that are requested most by the boxing fans are the ones that's gonna pay you the most. You see what I mean? But what they rather do is just stall shit out. Keep the fans hungry, keep the fans hungry. So you know whenever they feel like it's best, when they see you when you starving at your highest point, then that's when they'll be able to. That's when they want to feed it to you. Because the hungrier you are, the more you're gonna be willing to pay. You see what I mean? Now, if let's say like you a little bit hungry, right? And you walk past a McDonald's or whatever, you be like, man, I'm hungry, but I ain't about to sit. I ain't about to sit in this long ass line. But when you really hungry though, you gonna sit in that motherfucking line. You know what I mean? And wait for you to get to that drive through and order what you need to order. You feel what I mean? So I think that's what a lot of these guys prefer to do. They rather just, stall these guys. They like to stall fans out, stall fans out, stall fans out, you know, so they can get them, as excited about the fight as possible, then cash out. They don't want to get straight to it. But I think that's the type of time Caleb Plant is on right now. You feel me? And I think that the Jamal Charlo fight and Caleb Plant fight would be a great fight. But I don't think they're gonna feed, Jamal. They're not gonna put him at any big fights anytime soon, for real, man. It seems like PBC is like really concerned with Jamal and not really believing in him right now. I seen Jamal Charlo in the gym hitting the bag. He was all off balance and looking slow and shit like that. So I'm like, bro, is this dude the same? Like, is this like he don't even look like the same fighter that was locked in at 54 and the beginning stage of his 160 career. Like, they look like totally different dudes, bro. Now, mind you, his last fight against Jose Benavidez, he passed with flying colors, but let's keep it real, bro. Like, that's Jose Benavidez. You know what I mean? At his peak, he was fighting at 140 pounds, and he was fighting a full-fledged 160 at 164-pound catch weight. Come on, man. I don't know. Mazuma, who do you think has the deepest bag in boxing right now? What you mean the deepest bag? Like skill set? Uh, skill set. So like the most skilled fighters, Terrence Crawford. I think Terrence Crawford, because he could do a little bit of everything. You know what I'm saying? He could box, he could bang, he's accurate, he could fight outside, inside. Jerron Ennis is definitely one of them as well. Um, Jerron Ennis, Terrence Crawford. Alexander Usyk definitely got some tricks up his sleeve. I love how the way he boxed, real skilled. Uh, Shakur. I know everybody not fucking with Shakur right now, but Shakur. Devin Haney definitely skilled. He got a nice jab. Javante got a deep bag as well, man. He shows more and more, as he continues to fight. You know what I mean? I just want to see him in there with the guys that, elite just like him. But probably like skilled overall, bro. Bam Rodriguez, I'm gonna give him that. But I'm gonna get that to Terrence Crawford because I feel like he could do a little bit of everything. And Boost could do the same thing. I honestly think that Boost is a better switch. I think he switches better than Terrence Crawford. You see what I mean? But the fact that Terrence Crawford was able to do that against high level opposition, I'm gonna give Bud his credit for having the deepest bag in boxing. I'm gonna get at the Bud. You know what I mean? So yeah. Are the Charlo brothers the same? Um, Jamal, I don't think he's the same. You know what I mean? I don't think he's the same, man. I think that He's battled a lot of situations and conflicts outside of the ring that's ultimately damaged him mentally. And I think that when you reach a certain point mentally where uh, let's let's put it like this, you know, uh, his mental is not the same. You see what I mean? His mental is not the same. So when you receive a lot of damage mentally or you go through a lot of traumatic things outside of the ring, it's gonna affect you inside of the ring as well. You know what I mean? It messes with your ability to think inside the ring or stay focused and shit like that. So and I think that the activities that Jamal Charlo has participated in, like in terms of drinking and stuff like that, may have hurt his physical as well. Every time I would see Jamal Charlo on live and stuff like that, he's slurring his words and then he's calling Aiden Ross on live, drunk calling him. You could tell he can't even like form a sentence without slurring and shit like that. Like Jamal Charlo has some real problems that that he has outside of the ring that's, eventually gonna show inside of the ring. Now in terms of Jamel, it seems like he got some legal issues going on and stuff like that. Having problems with his wife, so he going through his fair amount of BS outside of the ring as well. But I don't know, man. That performance against Canelo, he showed a lot of doubt. He lacked courage in that fight against Canelo Alvarez. So maybe Canelo Alvarez, uh, made him doubt himself, made him doubt his mentality, and I mean you know, I think Jermell Charlo is still like the man at 154 pounds. It just so happens that, he sold all his belts for that Canelo Alvarez check. That's what ultimately happened at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So Jamel might still be the same. Jamel might still be the same. He might come back to 154 and start wrecking shit. You know what I mean? He might go fight Tim Zoo and beat up on him and, make his name back in the division, beat up Fundora or whatever. But Jamal, I think Jamal is in a whole deeper situation than Jamel. That's what I think. I think the big Charlo, you know, is more than likely not going to be the same. And I think Jamal, he might be able to bounce back from this. Unless that Canelo Alvarez check, satisfied his hunger or like took away his, drive, his motivation. I don't know. You know what I mean? But, you know, yeah, Charlos went out sad in 2023. Well, Jamal Charlo did what he had to do. He defeated Jose. You know what I mean? But Jamel definitely went outside, man. Embarrassed his last name for real. Embarrassed his last name for real. Jamel let us down. That's a fact, Oscar. I knew it was an uphill battle. I knew that it was like unlikely that he would beat Canelo Alvarez, but I was rooting for him, man. I thought that he would have put on a more, aggressive performance. I thought he would have shown more, like how bad he wanted it and shit like that. But I don't know, man. It just seemed like off of the rip, he refused to engage with Canelo. You know what I mean? He didn't want to take any chances. He got hurt. He got dropped, and never seemed to have that urgency to try to win the fight. You know what I mean? It just like he was trying to keep Canelo off of him for 12 rounds. It looked like he was looking for some type of moral victory. Like, all right, if I don't get knocked out, then I'm cool type shit. I think he came to grips with that mentally. Like he knew he wasn't gonna win, so he figured he would just survive. But yeah, Jamel definitely let us down, man. Um, they definitely went out sad for sure. That's a fact. But I'm gonna get up out of here, man. We got 18 people in the building, man. I appreciate everybody that tuned in and checked out the live. Wasn't the most popular live today, but it is what it is. Sometimes we get the notification bell, sometimes we don't. So it is what it is, man. But the reason I ain't go live yesterday was because, bro, it wasn't really shit to talk about. You feel what I mean? I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Like I was on, I was ready, I was looking for topics, but the news been kind of dead lately. You feel what I mean? So, uh, you know, I came on here. That's why I decided to do random boxing topics. Whenever I say random boxing topics, is because there's literally nothing to talk about that I haven't covered already. But, you know, it is what it is, man. I came on the live anyway, and I appreciate everybody that came through and supported Stop Motion MMA, Anonymous, J Cash, Singh, Oscar De La Coca, you know what I'm saying? Lorenzo in the building. You see what I mean? Shout out to everybody that came through and, you know, made the conversation fluid. And we had some great boxing talk as a result of that. So thank you very much. You know what I mean? I'm going to give me some rest, lay out with my son, you know what I mean? And go about my day. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be back with some videos tomorrow morning. You know what I mean? Keep the content going. So y'all be on the lookout for that, man. Hit the like button. You know what I mean? Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel and stuff like that. It is very much appreciated. You feel what I mean? This is Marcus Rosa, aka Mazuma TV. I'm out of here, man. Peace.